she-ish vibes today. Just, he-ish, she-ish. Just remember I'm not a woman and we'll be fine. Welcome. I am streaming today. Lots of cool stuff. Oh, right, we had the planet. Let's see, let me open. The question is, did we get all the notes on Grelth that I meant to? That is the important question, is did we get all the notes on Grelth that I meant to last time when I got distracted by Escarletta? So, as you know, Tuesdays and Thursdays are generally my Warhammer 40k days. I missed the, play and stream yesterday morning because of opportunity that I felt compelled to take. So, we're switching up and doing Greyhawk on Friday, and I wasn't sure I was going to do Warhammer 40k today, but I think it's a good day for Warhammer 40k. So, for those of you new to the stream, welcome. For those of you who've streamed before, welcome back. This will be up on YouTube at some point, so if you're watching VOD, welcome. Okay. So, what are you doing? Johann the 45th, blah, blah, blah. The ship stats, components, okay. Grelth is a planet we invented. So, what we tend to do here is we do planet creation. We say, okay, here's a planet, here's a planet, here's a planet, let's do this. We never noted down the city names for Grelth. Grelth is a planet that I've been working on. Also, I always eat on stream, fun fact. Oh, right, there is one thing that I meant to do that never got done. So, you're gonna have to hold me with me while I do this. And in the meantime, I can explain. Oh, right. No, just a rambling stream. You don't ever do one shots. Yeah. Okay. Ba-boom, ba-boom, ba-boom. We're doing a world building stream. Let me go to the... my plan is go... Okay, so, for those of you who don't know, what I like to do is I like to build up the Expectus... I'm creating a kind of expanded universe within the Warhammer 40k universe, full of a particular crew, the Expectus Primus. It's a ship that has a rogue trader ship, and my internet is being fussy, so that's gonna be a problem, but we'll cross that bridge as we come to it. We'll work on that. Let's hope it stays good. In the meantime, yes. Magic. Nope. So what I did is I created several planets. Last Saturday I ran the first game, setting up with the Expectus Primus and the crew. And I got to play Nurse Joy, who is a Servo Skull, who is the coolest NPC. And a lot of fun to play. But, other than basic like that. Wait, did I? Important note. Did I screw up the schedule? 1:31. Nope. He mistyped. Okay, that's okay. We'll keep it light tonight. We'll only do that one. It should be plenty. Gulf Acid, Zaros, Koltheth, Growth. Social, large cities. Okay. We have 2 cities on Growth that we know of, and I'm going to write down their names. Oh, yes. Oh, yeah, I have to write down these guys, I need to write down, I need to write down I'm trying to write down the notes from how to explain it, the one shot. Put it in the canonical lore, so we can kind of work on this. And anyway, if you want to use these planets for other stuff too, like I have the whole Expectus Primus setup going, and I'm trying to bring in people and like make it a thing, and it's a slow process. We did finally get to play, and now we have a canonical captain. That is to say, Terry Machikidi of Roll for Perception is now, I guess, canonically plays the captain, which is pretty cool. But Captain Holmshell, you did a good job with her. But my point on that is that I'm doing that with it. But if you guys want to use these planets for other stuff, other Warhammer 40k stuff, heck, even random other space opera stuff, you want to file off the serial numbers, go for it. You know, go for it. Take the planets. I'll be more than happy to provide usefulness. If you're going to stream something on it, a little credit would be nice, but other than that, just go for it. Right. But generals. Alright. Bentrek. Okay, Bentrek is the planet. The base of operations for the Kurosawa family. For the branch of the Kurosawa family that's located on Growth, as opposed to the branch of the Kurosawa family that's located on other planets. I also kind of want to do more lore. If you guys are good with lore, we could actually start picking apart a freaking family tree for the Helmshell family. You know, that would be kind of cool. But yeah. Of the Growth, we're entrusted to also, it kind of reminds me of the I don't know if you've ever listened to the Penumbra podcast. I hadn't. I'd heard about it, and it was apparently really good, and my cousin was like, you should watch this. Finally, I acquiesced. A, it is totally really good, and B, the main family on that has a similar name, and the main family in Hyperbian City on Mars, the main crime family / TV family that does the thing. Boom. More epic cutscenes. Okay. But yeah, that's okay. Good. So, yes, okay. Boom. Yeah. Let me just. We're entrusted to a relatively minor cousin. a relatively minor cousin. Um, okay. Dressed to a relatively minor cousin. It's the only city with grinding belts that has been repaired so it actually runs. The rest of them, although, yes, hang on. Made from the bones, some minor cultivation in the equatorial zones. Okay, so, actually runs. There are 5 others. No, 4, 6. We're gonna have to figure out where those belts are and what's in those cities, and whether the Kurosawa family's extending their plays for those cities, because so I'm gonna say that there are 6 other cities, and now that I've said it, it's canon, because that's how world building works. Once you say something, it's canon, and then until you say otherwise. But so there are 6 other cities where they have these the old diamond encrusted belts that they use to sand down the bones to make viable blades, but only one of them actually runs, which was the one that got repaired. So the Kurosawa family, that's in Breltek, or not Breltek, Bentrek. Sorry, Bentrek. Then there's the nearby recruiting station. There's probably a couple others as well, but let's see. I wrote down what I'm gonna have to go back and notch it for the thingy. So, I'm guessing recruitment center in Pardel. Pardel is the one that's nearby. So I'm guessing there's probably a number of recruitments. That's probably the main one, and there's probably 2, I would guess. Yeah, there's 2 on the planet, one of which is one of which is much farther away from Bentrek, and but both of them receive the blades. I would guess, but this one is more directly from Bentrek. I mean, I might have a monopoly, honestly. They might train the troops for different purposes, although how you would know. Sorry, my head is itchy, which is, a thing that happens, so that's fun. But Bentrek, boom, 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 boom. Okay, so, but I want to know how many more. There's probably 2 recruitments. There's 6 of these belts, 7 of these belts. One of them got repaired by the Kurosawa family. That's in Bentrek, so that's where the main industry, anything that goes off planet is. Hang on, let's see. The official, one of which is just recruitment and with, but it has recruits for, some minor, yes. So, okay, so I got this. So this one, actually, because that would be interesting, because that one didn't get affected. They didn't pick, which makes sense, because they're waiting, yeah, okay, hang on. I'm trying to figure out planet-wide scale more than just, putting it together for the plot of a one-shot in terms of, because there's 2 different ways to do world building. One is set your sights on what you need for a particular one-shot, and then let the, things flow from there, and the other one is go overarching for what's the whole deal. And I kind of went through the one-shot because, well, we had the one-shot coming, so you had to. And, you know what? Hang on a tick. If you guys won't mind. Boom, 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 boom. I wonder if, I think that would be, Uh, okay. Boom, 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 boom. Beautiful. Okay. All right. Sorry about that. But yeah, we're back to Grelth shenanigans. Okay, so if it's not the capital, there is a capital. Capital. Okay, so there's administrative capital and the actual business capital, like DC and New York, right? Here we go. Hear me out. This is gonna be. They get their orders from there. They didn't tell the. They didn't freaking tell them. Okay, there is a planetary governor, who is a cousin on his wife's side. That's how they got the gig. Right. Okay. I know where this is going. Okay, hang on. We're doing this. Okay, so first things first. There are 6 other belts, but none of them are working, so production is slow. And only for nearby domestic use. Yes. Okay. So there's that. All right. She runs. So it's the only one with the repaired factory runs, and it's the only. For off-world arrival. Boom. Okay, then we got. Okay, there we go. Now we got Pardell. I'm gonna give this an extra little bump. All right, we could go to other planets too and do this kind of level of popping them down and then figure out where people are from and what. Obviously, like, yeah, this is. I mean, we have a whole map of all the main cities on Beezus. We could like write up which one goes where and what they do and I mean, obviously we're gonna do all of that at some point, but you know, we're gonna dig a little bit. That's what we're gonna do for the next bit while on these guys is dig a little into the workings of the planets, because honestly we can. And also before I forget, the main off-world. For troops shipped off-world. Yes. Yes. Not too far. The road that got. Okay, so there's a road. There's an actual road between the two. Now, it's irrelevant if there's a road between the two if you have a flyer and you can just fly wherever, but it's useful to know that there's a road between the two. It kind of signifies a certain amount of. Especially on a planet like Grelth, where there's really not a huge road network. Like, okay, there's probably some. Like a handful of roads that can actually take vehicles. The rest are just footpaths. I mean, I bet the vast majority of the population doesn't travel long distances. They just kind of isolate in these little villages with the, hobbit holes and the that's the only way you can really build. There's the only one built out of the rockcrete is the local, because there's no local stone to quarry, because frickin' the whole planet is kind of useless that way. There's not a lot of stone to quarry, so they have these little, the hobbit hole theory of building. The only ones, you got a couple in, they're the belts, the ruins. They have the ruins of the old civilization that got built here when the humans first colonized it millennia ago, long enough for evolution to have happened. So, a long time ago. And so you got those, so those ruins, and they have those ruins. They have, they probably got buried and then dug up again, and then it's probably a whole thing. But okay, so they got those ruins. You got, what else you got? So you got those ruins, and you got the training centers, the Imperial Guard belts, and ancient tech. You got the things. Oh, I bet the freaking. That's an interesting question, isn't it? Right? It's 72% water, so the water cycle must be fairly common, right? Which means it does rain. Which, okay, there's probably a lot of snow more than rain. But if there's any equatorial agriculture, then it means that there's got to be at least places where it's warm enough to rain, which suggests that this there's probably some sort of really beautifully preserved dark age of technology shell building that keeps these belts from getting the elements, that are probably beautifully done, that probably is the only reason they lasted this long. That's probably a thing, I would guess. Okay, sorry, I'm just nudgy. Whew, okay. It's the come down from the caffeine. Or it's actually effective dosage. Okay. Around the equatorial zones, especially with the road linking them. Boom. Okay. Which else for? Okay, so yes, there's Peridel. Then there's one more. Oh. Yeah, they killed him. I forgot they was run by. Okay, what was his name? General. I have his name. General. And he was killed. They didn't actually poke into his life, or they probably would have found his body, but yeah, he was killed. I have that in my notes. I also have his name in my notes, and they never asked. So, there's that. Hawthorne. Edgar Hawthorne. General Edgar Hawthorne, who is a general who runs the recruitment center, getting the Ogrins to Ogren. And then he's assisted by Lieutenant Dalsworth, who... Does she have a first name? She's not of the Renthok Dalsworth. She's from a different branch of the Dalsworth family, because the Dalsworth family... They of course do well on Renthok, and there are several. They have council seats in several cities on Renthok, meaning they're powerful within the thing, including the capital, which is a huge thing. It is not Dalsworth who sits as the supreme, the head of the Belden Hive, which is the capital's council, which would then put them as de facto planetary governor. But it would they do have people on the Belden Hive Council and several others, Easton Hive and Morin Hive, I think, at least. But that's Renthok. It's a completely different planet. But there's other branches of the Dalsworth family off of that planet, and this particular young woman was from one of those other branches, which, sorry, just Renthok is a pet project of mine. Back when I was younger and less world weary, and could focus better, I had a plan that I was going to write a Warhammer 40k novel, and I worked on it a little bit. One of the planets that I created for that was Renthok, and in fact, I used all of my troops from Renthok as, the protagonists. Basically, they were going out to fight, I think it was Xenos in the name of the Emperor, because, that's what Imperial Guard troops do. But they were all from Renthok, and it was a whole... I built up this planet as part of that. And I bust it out occasionally for... I think I made a YouTube video about Renthok, which is interesting. Yeah, I think I made a YouTube video about Renthok. Several, actually. Yeah, they're up on YouTube, so that's pretty cool. But... Okay, right. General Edgar, sorry. Until he was killed. Okay, so he was killed by Dark Eldar Corsairs. Okay, I'm gonna have to... Corsairs, okay. Corsair. That's how you spell Corsairs. Okay. Okay, Corsair. Okay. Corsairs, who were granted, webway access to the planet via schemes. There are schemes involved with this. I can't reveal any more than that there are schemes involved with this, but there are schemes as to why they got webway access. Sorry, I really want to explain why all of that shit went down on Grelth, but that is like a whole... I have to run another one-shot to, like... And then they can fight the... I can't tell you guys because I have players and they might watch this and I'm gonna do another one-shot. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, this course, yeah. Okay, so, all right, let's do this. No. Planet via schemes. Right, so that's part out. As such, control was mostly transferred to one of his trainers, Lieutenant Millie Dalsworth. Oh, wait a second. If she's not of the Renthok Dalsworth, then which branch of the Dalsworth family is she from, and what planets do they control? That is a fun question that we will answer at some other point. We're creating an interconnected web of shenanigans here, and because we can. Sorry, I just love world building, and I'm hoping you guys like world building too, which is why I think that would be the only reason you would watch the streams, that you loved world building and like picking apart the 40k world and making the weird civilian-y aspects that come underneath the intensive battles with all the Xenos and heretics. And okay. Lieutenant Millie Dalsworth. Yes, not of the Renthok Dalsworth. We're gonna put this down. Not of the Renthok Dalsworth. Boom. Okay. There's probably another Lieutenant Millie Dalsworth in Renthok. At least one other Lieutenant Millie Dalsworth in one of the Renthok units as well. That's just a heads up. But crew. Yes. Okay. Hang on. Okay. Sergeant. I'm writing down Anna Verbank. Sergeant Anna Verbank. Security personnel. Okay, we're gonna have a separate list of security personnel. personnel. Okay. There's security personnel. There's basically like a whole little militia thing going on, and which we've established, and now I have to write down their names before we, because they got I gave them names, all right, and like cool random backstories, and I want to, you know what? I gave them names, and I'm putting these names in the record. And Cobalt has a burn scar across one eye. Well, we got Andeltheric. We got, Norlick James. Was almost killed on Growth. But Kurosawa, Magus Kurosawa, saved his life. Good kid. Yes, him. Kev Soren. Luna Oliverin. Okay, and she's 33 years old. Single. Okay. Yeah, she has a little... There we go. Boom. There we go. Now we got them sorted out, because they have real names and stuff, and like, little mini, you know... We're getting there. We're creating a whole crew full of real people, right? Which is not just the ones who, Oh, Balboa. We're gonna have to figure out what the deal with Balboa is, and how that happened. Could be running with mercenaries could be fun. We'll have to work on that. Meanwhile, okay. Alright, so we got these guys going. Now let me hit save, because you always, always, always save your work. And, capital, right. So we're gonna give Growth a capital that was neither, Bentrek or Peridot. It was gonna have like an administrative capital and an actual planetary governor who is useless. Not useless, but he doesn't have the political pull he thinks he does. How he ended up as planetary governor, that could be a fun little side quest. And why he didn't know. He got pulled in because, ooh, this is, sorry. We're coming up with layers, and I like this. Let me just, never mind. I'm just checking something. Seeing if my hands are shaking. Save, obviously. 26,000. We have not even remotely close to 26,000. So, relevant planets. We got Zanzaros. We have, of course, notes on, like, more notes on a lot of these planets. We just have Kofoth. Useful Aptus Mechanicus. Fortunately for them, Kurosawa has quite a bit of pull with the Adeptus Administratum and has managed to keep control of their export, while extorting Mechanicus for favors and such to gain access. That's how, naturally occurring magnetic field that lets it maintain an atmosphere. It was discovered and colonized during the Dark Age of Technology and contains Xenos ruins from previous civilization. The Adeptus Mechanicus signed a 5,000-year lease 2,000 years back. We should put Palmas in here. I feel like that's important. On the parcel of land at their dig site and run an archaeological school. Yes. Right. Colomen, and then that was before the two of them went to Bees. Oh, crap. Hang on. I have to remember whose family was from where. Right. that was where the Alcott family was from before a couple of the younger sons went to Beezus, and then got kicked off when that was an orc invasion issue happened, and that was they were refugees from there when the ships there got attacked by another orc ship, and then that was when the Expectus Primus stepped in to save them, and I don't know if that was when... Okay, we're gonna need more detail on Johan Johansson's backstory in a little bit. But... Boom, 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 boom. Hang on. Okay. Also, if anyone in the chat feels like throwing down a, what's the technical term? A bit of cool names for planets thing, I would be very, very cool. Very, very appreciative. Cool names for planets would be a very handy thing to add to the chat if you happen to be around. I need more cool names because we're going to have more planets soon. Alright, but first, let me just... Balboa, no. Pnomter, no. Pnomther, Growth. Okay, Paradel. Okay. Not if the Renthok Dollsworth. She had her... Helmshow, Johan Johansson. Right, we had Johan Johansson played by Sig. Right, we had Mercenaries. I'm trying to figure out if I gave a name to the other lieutenant, or rather, if I wrote the other lieutenants' names down. Arn Bradshaw. Yes. Oh. Hey, Phantom, you're lurking. Hello. Yes. Oh, and my Streamlab thingy's working too. Yeah, absolutely. Always appreciate the lurk. Welcome, welcome. Yeah. Yes, listening while driving. Yeah, probably best you're not in the chat, but absolutely wonderful to have you here. I'm just putting together some of, Growth, which was if, no, it was Mystery Cycle who was there. Was the other one. But yeah, just putting together some cool stuff for, Growth. One of the planets. I need to figure out what the capital is called. Alright, and, so... with, Lieutenant, I feel like I should bump up their ranks. Okay. Maybe there are other higher officers who were in the capital at the time. That might make sense if there's like a colonel who was in the capital at the time who gonna come back and run the base, because it would be cruel to that particular Lieutenant Dollsworth to make her... hang on. Yes, I know how to spell lieutenant. I have written enough military fiction to know how to spell lieutenant. Okay, wait. So, along with Lieutenant Arn Bradshaw. Okay. Was mostly transferred to... Okay. Wait a second. They put him in the capital during the... That was probably part of the scheme. Warhammer 40k. Oh, Warhammer 40k. Okay. There's a lore dump. There are so many lore dumps I could give right now. I guess the beginning would be the most basic lore dump without going into too many details, because goodness knows I can go into so many details about Warhammer 40k. The year is 40,000. Or closer to 41,000 at this point. And humanity has been, since the year 30,000, united under the Emperor, who, sometime within the first millennia of, uniting Earth and then going out to reconquer all of the planets conquered during the Dark Age of technology, which was somewhere in distant past, and then was ended by a combination of an AI rebellion and a new chaos god coming into existence in Immaterium. Basically, manifestation of pure evil. The four of them are. And a new one came into existence, and between that and an AI rebellion, the Earth, glorious age of colonization failed, and mankind was plunged into millennia of darkness until the Emperor managed to reunite Earth and then go out, reuniting humanity. Got killed off by a civil war, and now, around like 31,000-ish, and now humanity struggles, limps along, worshipping the Emperor on life support as a god, he has the psychic powers to kind of back that up, which is helpful. But, there's all sorts of, there's the four chaos gods, manifestation of pure evil, they're kicking around. You got a lot of Xenos, or aliens who want to kill humanity, partly because we did do a lot of, part of that is humanity's own fault for trying to exterminate a lot of Xenoses, but on humanity's side, in humanity's defense, rather, the first aliens they encountered were the orcs. And the orcs just kill everything. So they probably figured it was a better idea, and given the orcs, I could see why they thought that way. Unfortunately, it came back to bite them in the ass when every other species got... Eesh. Yeah, there's a lot going on with humanity. But yeah, so there's the Imperium of Man, who does, cool Imperium of Man stuff, and right now they send out rogue traders, who are really powerful individuals who get a warrant of trade, which basically means they're above the law and can enter and leave the Imperium at will to kind of go in and out of wherever the various edges of the Imperium to try and soften the way for Imperial expansion. And we had 40K is the role-playing game. Rogue Trader is the role-playing game. There's several tabletop RPGs. Not the tabletop war game, which they also have, but the tabletop RPGs, one of which is Rogue Trader, and that's where we built all these stats from. This is what we ran a one-shot of it. And Grelth was the planet I used during the one-shot. And I've been making a lot of these. I've been making whole strings of characters for the Expectus Primus, which is a Rogue Trader ship. We've created a bunch of characters for it. And then we're coming up with planets, all the different planets for it, various uses. So because of the way Warhammer World works, there's millions, if not billions, of planets under Imperial control. I think they argue whether it's millions or billions on the forums. I'm more inclined toward billions because of the way millions arguments is set up doesn't factor in certain things, which I don't know if that makes it 1,000-fold more, but it certainly does increase the number. And yeah, so there are so many worlds under Earth, under the Imperial control, either nominally or actually, that you can just invent them and stick them in the Imperium and it works. And so because I love world building, what I've been doing is inventing planets. And so on the stream we pop in and we do planet invention. And if you have any cool names for planets, and you have a minute to type them into the chat, I'm always looking for more cool names for planets to add to the list in case we come up with more planets and need names, because we're down to 1, maybe 2, because I think I might have used that Corstanus for something, and then wrote it down in the notebook back when we were taking notes manually when the streams first started. A lot of the planets were like that, and I managed to put summaries for most of them, but I could have sworn Corstanus got used, but even then, even if it didn't, I still only have 2 names, and there's probably going to be way more planets coming up. And because creating planets on stream is a lot of fun, and it's kind of my thing. Oh yes, the capital of Grelth, we need a name for that too. The capital, what's the capital, and who is the actual planetary governor if it's not the Kurosawa family? And why are they... I have to work on that. The capital... We'll call it the capital in the notes for the administrative Governor. Yeah. Hi. I know. I know. The video, it's one of those things. It's that my internet is not great. At least partly the internet's not great, and my camera isn't the best either. I don't know what to do about that. I mean, I could try. I mean, I'm not. Nosrak. Ooh, that's a good one. You know what? We're gonna make. You know, yeah, we can use that for the capital. Yeah. Yeah, Nosrak, the administrative capital where the planetary governor, govern. Yeah. Huh. Yeah, no, and then it's probably due to freaking, the CPU, but it's only using, it's using a small fraction of the CPU, and I don't know why it's not taking more, because I know there's more available. I know I'm not running anything, I don't think I'm running anything that would take up more CPU than OBS. It might be because I didn't update OBS. That might be a thing. Yeah, this computer is also not the greatest computer. It's a Levino ThinkPad that got refurbished, so, and it still has one of those little ball mouses, or mice, that, you know, the little ball in the middle of the keyboard, so it's that old, so, it might be a witch's curse. I hope it's not a witch's curse, because I cannot break a witch's curse. A new computer I could maybe do something about. Witch's curse is, I can't really fix. If I got a new computer, which I'd like to, at some point, the first thing I'm going to get is a USB splitter so that I can keep the keyboard and mouse plugged in, also the mic, and also do another camera to do the dice cam, which I used to. That or a fish cam. But yeah, at least the audio is good. That's the important part. The visuals are kind of meh. I mean, it wasn't built. Or maybe it has, like, a haunting of the computer, possibly. I don't think we're on an old burial ground, but, I mean, the closest gravestones are up the street at least a bit. Certainly not close enough for curse, but I have no idea. But yeah, we don't have a lot of, it's probably something to do with RAM and not having as much processing power as a computer should, but, you know. But we have Nosrak. Also, if any of you if you have any really cool ideas for planet names, that would be good, because we just got Nosrak, but we're, I don't know what a 380SX means, but I'm sure it's not good. Also, hi Sig, welcome. We're, what are we doing? Yeah, for 40K. We were working on the planet Grelth right now. We got Norsak, but we put that for the capital. So Grelth has a capital, administrative capital, that is neither, Pardel, where the troop, the main recruitment center is, or Berntek, which is, Bentrek, which is where the one working grinding belt, and, I mean, it's not that old. It's only, like, it's it's pre-2010 old, but not, like, early computer old, you know what I mean? But, what was I gonna say? Oh, yeah. So we have Grelth, we have, Perdel, which is where the recruitment ground is. We have Bentrek, which is where the Kurosawa family is, and they have the one working belt, which lets them, basically, is the only place they can mass manufacture the little, the knives. Everywhere else, it's you have to hand grind them, and it's like a few specialists, and you maybe get a couple every week or so. These are churning out multiple per day, which is pretty good in a term. It's not mass manufacturing like we know it, but it's pretty good, and it's the only reason they can supply their armies and also ship any off the planet. Oh, yes. So, yeah, we have, I maintain a list of cool planet names. And then solicit names for other things like random capitals and cities and other stuff. And then we got Nursak, which would have gone on the list, except I stole it for the capital because didn't have a name. Oh, but Sig, what I wanted to tell you, because you were in this game and you have a stake because Johan Johansson was your idea. Ajadia. Ooh, that sounds cool. That is definitely going on the list. Zeron. If we ever... J-A-E... Yep, that is definitely put on the list for later. Here, we're not going to put that so we know that they're on the list. Here, how about we do this? We're going to label the ones that are unused here so that we know that they're unused, and that way we won't get with, like, Corstanis, where you, like, think there's something there that you used, but you can't be sure because you didn't put it in the right document, and now it's in limbo. But we have 2 unused, guaranteed unused ones, so that's good. Plus, we have a name for the capital of Grelth, which is always good. Norstak. No, Aher. Oh, yes. That was the cool one. Nosrak. Okay, we're the planetary governor. Let's see. The planetary governor. He. Took on the assignment. Okay, so the planetary governor. We gotta figure out what the deal with the planetary governor is, because he doesn't have a lot of power. Maybe as a... what's above general in the, yeah, a retired... Oh, that's a thought. He was a involuntary retired because his leg got... Yes, okay, hang on. We got this. Let's see. Took on the assignment because... commissar. He was an imperial commissar. Commissar, who served with distinction. And was given a hero's retirement. He was given a hero's retirement. Grelth was probably limping along because it was, No, he's the great-great-great-grandson who doesn't... Yes, okay, hang on. No, because it's definitely been enough years that no one... Okay, hang on. His great-grand... Okay, so his great-grandfather... took the assignment because... He was an imperial commissar. Okay, so I'm given a hero's retirement. Was forced into. Okay, so he... Alright. I'm coming up with the history post-hoc, but it's gonna work. I think. So, as to why the Kurosawa family is in charge of all that, the older Kurosawa who first got it had 7 daughters and a son, and then his son took over and his daughters ran off and married off into families to kind of work with that. And then, it's true. It is very rare, but much more common for a commissar than a ordinary trooper, I would say. Yeah, but it is rare, but it does happen occasionally. Recently rediscovered planet. Because the Lord General... Yeah, no, that's true. Although most commissars have bolt pistols, I heard. Or maybe they, yeah, I had a feeling most commissars get bolt pistols. Because that's why they're so fearsome, is because they have the bolt pistols. I'm sure some of them have las pistols, but I always thought of them having bolt pistols. Maybe that's a thing you get if you're, like, really good at the commissariat. Lord General, okay. Or las. Okay, the Lord General. Native Ogren population. Okay, so he left the population to his wife, left the running to his wife while he ran the recruitment center until he died, and then passed, and then she, but, okay, right. Webs. Need to be trained. Because she was probably banging the other Kurosawa cousin who was married to. Alright, that's it. Okay. Not related to the, anything not related to the, what was I gonna say? To the training of troops. So, so the administrative function, okay, now we have a figure out of the history of growth. So the administrative function got, centered in Nosrak, while Commissar Grouth, for whom the planet was named. They named the planet after him. Retreated off. To build, secondary cousin of the Kurosawa family who did, okay, so, to build, the camp at, Pardo. Nosric. Okay, so he ran off to build the camp at Parduk. She ran the camp. Who, okay, her son, was rather disinterested. But did, and his wife, yeah, okay, so his husband, actually. You know what? Fuck it, we're gonna give him a husband. But he did notice that the, what's the technical term? The blades could be a commodity if and so right, and that would okay, should be a commodity off world, so he noticed the grades could economy of world. He So he had his husband, and then one of his nephews ran it. Okay. Husband, find. Kurosawa family being brought in. Family brought in. Okay. Brought in. He eventually drank, died and gave, passed the rule on to his nephew. Who passed the rule to his son. Because she would have made his grandmother, and it was great-grandmother, who passed the... The current planetary governor. Okay, so governor. Yeah, the current planetary governor is the son of the nephew of the son of the... Yep, okay. This makes sense. We got this. And, his dome. What's a good name? Yorick. Yorick Growth. Okay, so Yorick Growth is the current prime minister, temporarily. Okay, and then, oh, that might be, oh, yes, that could be good. That could be a, grave rest health. Okay. Alright, I'm gonna actually borrow this if that, oh, they actually properly killed off Yarick? Because he was like an awesome, commander. I'm not as familiar with that part of the lore, but I know he was like a total badass and had his arm that he stole from the orcs, and it worked because enough of the orcs believed that he was badass enough to make it work, that it just works for him, even though it shouldn't work for a human, but he was just so badass that that happened. I actually thought, when I thought Yorick, I was thinking more of, Alas, Poor Yorick, the, Alas, Poor Yorick, the, what's the technical term for Alas, Poor Yorick? From the Shakespeare play. Yes. Good to know. Yeah. Hopefully they don't kill him off, because that would be sad. But yeah, when I named, yeah, I was thinking more of Hamlet's Yorick. But I want to put this, if you don't mind me borrowing your, that. I'm gonna put this here as a reminder. Boom, 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 boom. If you want me to delete it, let me know. But I think, I mean, he can't live forever. No epic hero can live forever. Like you said, Entitlement Pair. Yeah, for sure. Okay, I think now that we've got that paragraph on Growth, I know you guys just got here, but I'm thinking of ending the stream. Okay, yes, the Beezus burn. Okay. Growth. Oh yes, the Emperor would be very disappointed in me, I'm sure. But yeah, Planetary Governor York Grelth. We should um from the planet was named. Yes. Yeah. So we should yeah, I feel like I probably should end the stream here because we're in a good place. But thank you all for coming. I really appreciate it. Always a good time. And I think what we're gonna do is there's another Warhammer 40k streamer called Bricky who is right now running the new Darktide game. And so I think we're gonna pop in and say hi to him, and if that's okay with you guys, which is pretty awesome. So yeah, we're gonna raid Bricky and see some Darktide because it seems cool. I will see you guys all later. Boom, 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 boom. Okay, stop streaming.